Hello everyone, welcome back to the part 3 of answering to all your questions for the Celimax Retinal Shot Booster Serum. In part 1, I answered 2 questions like, what moisturizers I was using alongside this one. If you can pair it with ingredients like snail mucin or any dark spot serum. If you could use this with retinol on the other nights, you should be using this every alternate nights. So in case that's one of your concern, please go check that video out. And now for this video, I will be moving on to the next set of questions. The 2 questions that have been asked on my channel that, I have scars and pores in my skin. This cream works for this or not, and may I order or not? The next question, I think it's on the same line, does it work for open pores and sebaceous filaments, or can we pair retinol shots with it just, for the T-zone? Okay. So I understand your concern with the sebaceous filaments that appear on our around the nose. If I have to answer this, I'll start with saying that this particular product isn't designed specifically to target open pores or help you get rid of those whiteheads or blackheads, but there can be some indirect benefits because retinoids in general, they improve skin cell turnover, boost elastin production, which over time may make pores appear slightly less visible. However, having said that, it is a secondary kind of effect and there is no guarantee about it. And I feel from my own personal experience, these changes might only be noticeable through proper devices which are used for skin analysis like corneometer or proper skin image analysis, and not visibly obvious in everyday appearance. So if your primary concern is open pores, I won't recommend relying on this particular product for that purpose. It's better suited for skin texture, improving fine lines and wrinkles, and slightly help with pigmentation rather than reducing pore size. So that's open pores. See, I have been using not just this but retinoids, retinols, OTC retinols for over 4 years now, and I do also have open pores around this area and this one, and I haven't seen any major difference in their appearance since I've started using this product. So I can't say that with full confidence that it actually works, help reduce open pores. Now on the sebaceous filaments, if I look at the studies, there are actually a few studies reporting retinoids such as retinaldehyde can be effective in reducing the appearance of sebaceous filaments. Why? Because they work by improving the skin cell turnover, which literally helps in keeping dead skin cells from becoming trapped in pores, and by regulating oil flow, preventing sebum from building up and hardening, which can actually lead to a reduction in the visibility of sebaceous filaments over time. However, it is important to note results can vary from one individual to the other, and it may take several weeks of consistent use to observe noticeable improvements. Additionally, while retinoids can help reduce the appearance of sebaceous filaments, they do not eliminate them entirely, as they are a normal part of our skin physiology. And as I have mentioned in my last video as well, and many other videos, that I've been using retinols for quite some time now, and even then I can still see these sebaceous filaments around my nose. Some days I feel their appearance is more texturized, and the other days they look very normal. Frankly speaking, if it looks like this, I don't break my head over it. I feel it's pretty normal for our skin to look like a real skin, and not having expectations of it look like plastic. So in case you have something which looks like this, maybe it's not that big a problem. Moving on to the next question, will it work for puffy eyes? Please suggest anything for eyes puffiness. Okay, from what studies suggest and from my own personal experience, I don't think this product has given me any substantial benefit for eye puffiness. I do have under eye bags. If you see, these are 2, and I have been using this product for over 3 weeks, and I haven't seen any kind of change in them. You see, under eye puffiness or eye bags is usually caused by fluid retention or fat accumulation under the eyes, and there are a lot of factors at play here: genetic, lack of sleep, aging, allergies, lack of hydration, all of them play a role here. Retinoids can improve skin texture, firmness, and collagen production, but they don't reduce puffiness caused by fluid or fat. So you won't see much difference in treating the puffiness around eyes or eye bags either. From my own experience, even after using retinol consistently for several years, I haven't noticed a reduction in puffiness under my eyes. If your goal is to reduce puffiness under your eyes, it's better to focus on hydration, keep the under eye area or the area around eyes better hydrated, you can use serums or eye creams that are rich in hyaluronic acid, or you can use serums that are infused with caffeine that is also known to reduce puffiness around the eyes. And yes, try to keep a check of your lifestyle factors, get enough sleep and stay hydrated. Moving on to the next question, I have a melasma. Can I use it? I have combination skin. And this is not just one person commenting about melasma. There have been other comments around hyperpigmentation, if this product can help reduce hyperpigmentation or dark spots in general. And based on the clinical studies and my own personal experience, here is what I've found. Clinical studies indicate that retinoids, including retinaldehyde, this product has retinal in it, can aid in reducing hyperpigmentation or melasma by promoting skin cell turnover and inhibiting melanin production. For instance, a study involving 0.1% retinoid, a prescription strength retinoid, showed significant improvement in melasma after 24 weeks of daily application. Histological analysis revealed a 36% reduction in epidermal pigment correlating with clinical lightening. I understand the challenges melasma present. Despite consistent use of retinol over the past few years, I noticed a new hyperpigmented spot this year. This could be attributed to factors like insufficient sun protection or other environmental triggers. Even with the introduction of treatments like microneedling, the spot has shown only slight improvement over the past 9 months. So what I'm trying to tell you, all these topical applications, they are not promising 100% reduction results. You remember the study? It was done with tretinoin, prescription tretinoin. Daily application only gave results of 36% reduction in the dark spots. So a product which is OTC, over the counter, which has only 0.1% retinal, it's still not retinoid. So I would wonder what kind of results should I be expecting? I'm pretty sure it's not gonna be 100%. Maybe over time with consistent use, I might see some benefits maybe 6 months down the line or more time. But still, having said that, here is my recommendation. To treat melasma and hyperpigmentation, you have to use sun protection. Go for tinted mineral sunscreens. They help block UV light, visible light that can trigger, all these melasma and hyperpigmentation. Look for gentle skincare options. If you go for harsh exfoliants, they can irritate the skin and can worsen the hyperpigmentation. And remember to have realistic expectation. From topical skincare, I don't think you are able to achieve like 100% result, as I said many times already. But if you are looking for that kind of appearance, 100% reduction in melasma or hyperpigmentation, then I would recommend going for in-clinic treatments like chemical peels, laser therapy, in-clinic microneedling, or prescription strength medication may be necessary. While Selimac Retinal Shot may offer benefit for melasma and hyperpigmentation indirectly, the key is to be consistent with it. Use sun protection and have patience, because results are gradual and will take time. Another thing I must say here, melasma and hyperpigmentation, they are not always just the surface level thing. In some cases, the pigment has penetrated deeper into the skin, into the lower layers of the epidermis or even the dermis. When that happens, no matter how consistent your topical skincare routine is, it may not fully resolve, and stronger in-clinic treatments like lasers, microneedling, or chemical peels might be necessary, as I said earlier too. But if the pigmentation is still at very early stage, topical treatments can help reduce it, but still not 100%. Improvements are gradual, partial rather than complete. And yes, that finishes the most asked questions. I hope this might have given you some insight. Let me know what you think about it. If you have any follow-up questions, post them in the comments and I will come back to you. And that's all for today's video. I'll see you all in my next video. Until then, stay tuned, stay beautiful.